Right, so we got Vaush and Alec Gunter having a conversation. If you don't know who either of these people are, Vaush is the guy that got caught with Lolly on his computer, like animated drawings of horses fucking little girls and stuff like that. Disgusting. Alec Gunter is someone who is trying to follow in his footsteps, minus the Lolly. And these two people, I feel like them having a conversation will be interesting. And they're talking about AI, which leftists usually have a raging fucking hate for AI. And it's not that I don't understand it. I think for me, it's more in the use of it that matters. So for example, making like AI art by itself, if you're just making like random things, like I've made all sorts of stupid shit in AI, like that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's more a case of like when you, like say you take a bunch of commissions for like art that normally someone would make, and then you just shit out loads of AI to like cover those commissions, do it really easily, it doesn't take you very long, no real effort, and you've made a whole bunch of money. That's the kind of thing that I think is more bad. But let's see what Vaush and Alec Gunter have to say. And this was from the Progressive Victory, that's the one. They had a Progressive Victory stream in like New York or something with all these, you know, D-rank streamers that, you know, they're supposed to be promoting some candidate who ended up losing because, what was it, Jamal Bowman, he like pulled a fire alarm at some vote or something. Seems a bit unhinged, but which makes sense as to why these people are, you know, supporting him. Anyway, Vaush, Alec Gunter, let's go.
All right, everyone. Up next is Alec Gunter. I'm leading him in because it might look like he's taller than me and yoked, and it's just a trick of the eye. It's just the camera. It's not.
He's such a charmer, fucking Vaush. He's such a charmer.
Well, thank you. That's very flattering. I appreciate it.
I was a Vaush fan probably between 2020 and 2021. It was around that year that I started kind of seeing a few issues with him, if you know what I mean. I thought he was a bit mental for years, but apparently people are now catching up, so hey.
Seriously though, you've been hitting it.
Have I now?
You must have been, right?
I've been trying to.
You've been
more
eating
recently.
your fucking Wheaties? Where'd those shoulders come from, man?
I mean, I've had them ever since my football days, so yeah, I've been trying to work out more lately, but man, it's been rough.
Alec Gunter is another streamer. He went on Jubilee and made a fool of himself quite massively. It's worth a watch, honestly. What was it? He was like simping up to fucking Tipster of all people and making weird comments about, I think it was someone called Larix. Weird things about like him transitioning and stuff. It was strange.
Rough. I just went for a walk to the. I
Told you, I warned you about that walk, didn't I?
Yeah, it was hot out there. It was a blazer, and so that's why I'm sweaty right now because it was very dumb.
So awkward. He's like, he's presumably fangirling on him, and I don't know what he thinks of him. Like, possibly Vaush thinks he's cool because of all the, like, Jubilee shit and stuff like that, because it's the kind of thing that someone like Vaush might think is cool.
Me to do, but like, my endurance has taken a nosedive lately. I don't know what it is. I just am, I'm trying to get back to the gym, but...
You're inhaling like a few milliliters of water every time you breathe, so like it probably isn't doing like phenomenal for your endurance.
Yeah, no. I don't know. It's just I've been trying to get back into it, but like people have been talking about like a Discord.
I mean, I slouch at the computer chair. They tell me sit up straight. I forget. Yeah, just in case people watching don't know, normally, of course, I stream from Seattle. Seattle's 100% humidity is like nothing. It doesn't.
Oh, thank you. I'll let my partner know she made it. I'm a lot more sane now. But before I started streaming, I was kind of going a bit insane because like loads of stuff kind of happened one after the other with like trans people I knew in real life. And, I was having my own moment of realizing that I can't just say what I think and that be okay. Like, if I say a lot of the things I think, even though to me they're not offensive and they're not out there or crazy at all, like, people are gonna just go off on me and, like, call me, like, privileged and shit like that, whatever they have to. And it's got nothing to do with anything I have to say. It's just because if you say anything remotely negative about being trans or trans activism or trans people or the fucking Hogwarts Legacy boycott, then you're a terrible person. And you know, for me, it's like, I don't want those fucking people around me. And it feels like, it always felt to me, because I've been noticing these trans people for years, like on the internet doing crazy shit. I always was like, it's just people on the internet. It's not like, this isn't like real life. It's just shit that happens on the internet. But it kind of seems like it's everyone I meet in real life almost now. Like I know 2 or 3 that don't have that particular mindset of like anarchism or communism or socialism, like super woke, like progressive, polyamorous, sexually liberated, all of that stuff, you know. Anyway, I can't even remember why I went off on that. Yeah. No, that's why I had it, like, I thought it'd be funny to have my girlfriend make that, so she did, and I really like it.
Feel like anything.
Over here, again, the air is saturated with water. We move like this through the, you know, walking around.
Yeah.
I think what he's trying to say is in New York, it's quite humid.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I grew up in Cincinnati, and we're like in a valley, and so it's like, oh, when it's humid, it is humid. So I'm used to it, but still.
This is such a fascinating conversation. It's been almost 2 minutes. Oh my god, I'm getting more like, I'm going down the rabbit hole more and more with like progressive victory. That I think, is it called a pack or something? I don't know. I'm still getting used to all this American stuff. But yeah, progressive victory. Got vaush. Can't see it on here, but you've got vaush is like, yeah, we're debating humidity and then AI art, because that's what the title says. The same stream, like earlier on, he was talking about like bricks and how like the candidate they were pushing was like, he's gonna bring back he's gonna bring back bricks to Brooklyn or whatever. And then about the other guy, they're being like, you know, he's more of like a plaster guy or something. I don't know, vaush outside of his like stream setup, he seems so alien in a way. It's quite fascinating. It's like so awkward. And then this guy, because he's a fangirl, like he doesn't want to embarrass himself in front of vaush. So it's like, man, I just find shit like this funny.
Still doesn't stop me from getting all gross and sweaty. So
you never really get used to it, right? You just like learn to accept it and move on with your.
You just kind of deal with it, yeah. You just kind of wade through the air, like, you know, here we go again. Gotta, you know, if you don't want to go on a walk or anything, you just kind of power through. So
My travels around.
Wow, what an insight on going for a walk in a humid country.
The world, I guess, have led me to believe that it is genuinely insane that we don't have a belt of like 8 billion people living in the like Pacific Northwest, Spain, and like the other temperate, you know what I mean? Because like the weather in, say, Oregon or Central California is heavenly. It's godlike compared to every other place on Earth. Nothing else even comes close.
What is he talking about? Oh my god, they're still talking about weather. I thought these were like, this was like a meeting of the minds, you know, like progressive victory, bringing all these streamers together to like advocate for this like amazing candidate. And it's like, what are they talking about, bro? They're talking about the fucking weather. Like, why can't everyone just live where it's not humid? Okay, then.
Except for the other areas that are like it. I don't know why there aren't more people there, man. Where are they?
I don't know.
Fucking San Francisco housing policy. Like,
Listen.
Wait, why is he saying that? Like, especially if he lives in like one of those areas. Like, don't you want to keep the people out? Don't you want them to live in like the humid fucking places so that you don't have to? I don't know. Why are we even still talking about this? It's almost 3 minutes. There's only 13 minutes in this video, so. How to Break the Ice in 10 Steps books did well. Oh my god, true.
You're living life on easy mode, all right? The rest of us are out here in the trenches, we're living life on hard mode. That's all I'm saying. So
I mean, certainly.
Yeah, that's the true privilege, is whether you live in a temperate or a humid climate. So I guess I'm not privileged because I think the UK is quite humid, so there you go.
When it comes to humidity.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we get our heat in LA, but not the humidity.
Yeah.
How many times growing up did you hear people say it's not the heat, it's the humidity?
A lot.
Okay.
A lot. Yeah, we got that a lot.
Think we'll ever evolve out of saying that?
Not really, especially in Ohio. I feel like Ohio is kind of a breeding grounds for just repeating things like that. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like Ohio is a breeding ground for repeating things like, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. Oh my god, this is like truly the brain trust meeting right here.
I don't know.
Because you're looking for like a glint of normalcy in the otherwise, SCP-ridden wacky wonderland that is Ohio, right?
Yes, it is. It's interesting. I've heard we have monsters there. Apparently, there was like
To be fair, I know a song about Ohio, and it does sound like it's kind of full of crazy shit. Like not Florida crazy, but more than you'd expect, I guess.
meme going around about like a bunch of what is it, SCP?
Right, Siren Head,
Yeah.
the Skibidi toilet,
Skibidi toilet, yeah,
events with the radio head thing. No, that's a band. With the camera head guys, all of that, presumably something in the.
Yes.
Have you seen Skibidi toilet?
I have, yeah. Both online and IRL. I've seen a few Skibidi toilets running around in Ohio.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Skibidi toilet. Another meeting of the minds topic for us. I was really hoping, rather than discussing like politics and like some candidate that ended up losing, that they just sit and like talk about the weather and like Skibidi toilet. That's what I really wanted to know, was Vaush and Alec Gunter's opinions on Skibidi toilet. That's the only reason I'm watching this. I could quit this now, but they might say other funny shit, so.
scary.
It's art, it's, I actually thought that Skibidi toilet was very good. I thought it was a very artistic masterpiece.
Oh, I love.
My partner likes Skibidi toilet. The name sounds funny to me, but it's just kind of noise to me. I don't know.
Like, unironically,
Yeah.
I'm just happy to see people using source mod Filmmaker.
It is
Again,
fun.
I kind of grew up on those,
Yep.
so it feels nice.
All that Gmod stuff, baby. It's it's nice to see the younger generation really throwing it back. You know what I mean? Throwing it, not like that. Throwback is what I meant. You know what I meant?
I was waiting for you to pick up that dropped ball.
Oh God, that's gonna be clipped.
No.
It's fine.
No, it is. I mean, the children do crave Gmod. They yearn for the Gmod. You had like Purple Dreams on the PS4. What was it called?
What?
That game where it was like watery, wobbly, and you'd make your own games. So Roblox is like Gmod, but more corporatized.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forget. That was a really cool
I think it
one.
was just called Dreams.
Dreams, yeah. It was just kind of here and then gone, though, wasn't it?
Because people want Gmod, man. They want the fucking silly faces with models that were made in 2006.
That's the good stuff, man. I still watch. Oh man, this is gonna give away how much of a nerd I am. Did you ever watch like YouTube poops growing up?
Yep.
There was a lot of those.
So Mama Luigi to you, yeah.
Mama Luigi to you as well. My brother still makes them. He actually just uploaded one about Shark 0 so that's a fun one.
Nice.
Yeah, guitar rock.
Oh, we get bread tube YouTube poops now. That sounds amazing.
I don't know if you've ever seen him in the chat, but
No, I think I've seen the chat name.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
keeping it current. I think that, speaking of nostalgia, I think that to an extent nostalgia is always like a reactionary force in the mind, in that
Nostalgia is a reactionary force in the mind. Bearing in mind what these people normally mean by reactionary, which is like right wing, I guess. I wonder where he's going to go with this. It's a very specific word that only like leftoids use. I would never use the word reactionary because that just paints me as something that I'm not even, so,
it's not bad and everyone does it, but it's the same thing as like in-group bias. Like, I think because I'm familiar with these people that I trust them more than these people.
I more or less know what he means, but it's not just familiarity. It's like familiarity and liking for something, right? And, being reminded of something good that was in your life rather than something bad.
It's like a natural bias. So like with nostalgia, we see things as better than they actually were. Like, I'm sure I spent most of my childhood thinking, wow, these YouTube poops are shit. Wow, these Gmod like source filmmaker videos are shit.
Yep.
And now in retrospect, of course,
Well, yeah, I guess people like the opinion you form as a child, like you're perceiving it differently. Like, if it's a video game you played when you were a kid, you probably weren't as good at it and you weren't as smart back then. So, if you kind of don't update your opinions on stuff, yeah, you're going to end up thinking that things were potentially a lot better than they really were. I guess that's kind of where nostalgia comes from. But then nostalgia doesn't really suggest that you think something's better than it is, like by default. It could just mean that you remember something fondly. And if you like 80s music and you still listen to it, you're still being nostalgic, but you know, you appreciate it for what it is now as well, I guess.
It all seems so nice, and I like seeing callbacks to it. I wonder, have you seen the recent trend of the far right figures being more open about the like, hey, they took this from...
Oh, here we go now. We're getting into the real shit now. Like, only fucking halfway through the video talking about fucking nothing. Yeah, we're going in on those rightoids now. We're going to really show them.
You and this was split screen and a pizza?
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
You know, where they're like the world is no longer as it once was. You can no longer play Halo 1 split screen with Domino's and like Pepsi Cola.
I've never seen, whatever they're talking about, I've never seen it, but I don't watch rightoids that much. I mean, I literally just watched one, but that's like British stuff, and these two don't like Britain. American leftists, I don't know what it is about them. Like, I guess it's the colonizer thing, but like they have such a thing about like British people. And like, it really irritates me. Okay, the teeth thing, I get it. I have bad teeth too. But like so many of these American people, I'm not saying these two because I can't really see them, but so many like Americans and other people I see that I watch, it's like their teeth are like worse than mine. And it's like, excuse me. Maybe check your own shit before you fucking have a go at mine, because we're electing Keir Starmer and you've got either Trump or Biden running your country for 4 years, so.
They're very nostalgia pilled, and I've noticed a lot in like their AI art they love to upload. Like they do a lot of like they literally just generate images of what they think America was like back in the good old days. They do a lot of nostalgia pandering, and I feel like it can be a very effective tool. But
I mean, it makes sense when stuff's slowly getting worse. Like, hey, let's go back to the old days. It's not really realistic considering the population difference between now and like, say, I don't know, the 70s or something.
I just see those AI art images, man, and I want to retch. Like, it's disgusting.
It's such inauthentic nostalgia too, because they're creating something that never actually existed. I bet a lot of the people who are doing that, like, oh, the split screen. You know.
I wish I could see an example, because I don't know. I guess they're saying like the AI makes it inauthentic and it's not real. Like if it's political messaging, it probably isn't real anyway. Like, I don't know. Leftists hate AI. Yeah, I don't know. It was always going to happen eventually. It was going to flood everything, but hey, it is what it is. And the thing is, like, these kind of people almost feel like they're reactionary in their own way because that's a new thing that they don't want to like work with and integrate. It's like, no, we need to stop this. So it's interesting how they're kind of the reactionaries sometimes, but hey.
You know, playing with my buds, they probably didn't do it that much, you know, because if they did, they know split screen fucking sucked, like really bad.
Yeah, it was screen cheating.
Did it? It was fun playing like multiplayer. Like, Vaush isn't that much younger than me. He's played fucking split screen as a kid. Come on. I don't know how old fucking Alec Gunter is. Like, if he's older than 12, that worries me because of the shit that he comes out with on his stream, but yeah.
All over the place. Like, I actually I went to a LAN party only once when I was growing up, and I was like, this is incredible. I've never had an experience like this where there's no screen cheating, it's authentic. I guess I did, I was online, but like being in the same room.
I guess like the split screen stuff, maybe it's more fun if you're like drunk or high or something, but I don't know. I always liked it as a kid, but it was the only option. I mean, I played N64 growing up, so.
With a bunch of people, those LAN parties were fun. Or the one that I went to, I should say. But yeah, I was always on my brothers because I grew up with 3 brothers, and they were such bad screen cheaters, man. I couldn't stand it.
It's almost impossible not to, especially you've got games like Halo with cloak and like hiding points, you know, it's vulnerable to screen cheating.
And I don't blame them these days because like that's the obvious move, you screen cheat. But back then I was pissed.
Games like Halo are vulnerable to screen cheating. I mean, yeah, if it's split screen. It's the same with lots of them. I don't know.
So, but yeah, it's funny because like you look.
When did split screen become outdated? Yeah, I guess it was when like online gaming was more of a thing. You don't have to go to your friends anymore to play games with them, which makes it easier. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I only really play the Switch anymore. I don't play like PC games. But then I don't play much split screen either, because me and my partner kind of do our own separate things, like in the same room. I play FIFA. Excuse me. I play FIFA with a friend of mine, but that's... Oh, shit. You can't really screen cheat on FIFA, because you're all on the same screen, so I don't know. But yeah, I guess it was like online gaming that kind of took over.
Back and when you really think about it, it's like, was it that great? Probably not. Like, we just have.
It's fun in the right setting, like having people around you and like playing some games and like having some drinks and shit. Like it's a different kind of experience to playing, you know, all on different screens or whatever. Like it is what it is, you know.
Rosy glasses when we look back at it, and like I said, like you mentioned, the conservatives are really like taking advantage of that. I feel.
Well, we got to go back to the conservatives. We can't just talk about a normal subject, I guess, because when we do, it's like boring as fuck. Like the first half of this video, Jesus.
Like,
I wonder if there's any like general pushback that can be made on that, or if there's anything you can do. Because like for me personally, right, I did play split screen with my friends, and in retrospect, I remember having fun. I'm sure at the time, you know, who knows? Like I can't remember how I felt.
You can't remember how he felt at the time when he was playing split screen games with his friends. I don't know. I don't know how I'm supposed to like interpret half the shit he says. It's like so crazy. Like, I hope you were having fun. I don't know. Like, did you get upset a lot when people beat you? Maybe, I don't know. It's weird.
20 years ago, but like just the other day, I was playing Lethal Company with my friends, just online, right? I did play split screen with my friends, and in retrospect, I remember having fun. I'm sure at the time, you know, who knows? Like I can't remember how I felt 20 years ago.
I don't know why that's such a weird sentence to me. He didn't know how he felt 20 years ago when he was playing split screen games. Okay.
But like just the other day, I was playing Lethal Company with my friends, just online, of course. You can't split screen that. And I mean, I was having a blast. I was laughing so hard I had to cut the mic so that I wouldn't like I had to not listen to them so I wouldn't like throw up from laughing or whatever. Like they're getting into it, and I don't think like I probably had more fun then than I did when I was a kid doing the split screen stuff. Like, you know, I like that was probably a better individual experience than anything back then.
What does this even mean? Like, so I guess it depends on who you're playing games with and stuff and how much they make you laugh and stuff. He had a funnier experience doing it one way than another. Like, who cares, bro? Like, what are they talking about? This ranting about AI art with Alec Gunter. We got off AI art very fast, I guess. It's like the most nothing conversation ever. Is this like the whole thing? I don't know if he leaves after this. Because they had different streamers come up and sit up here and they're all like fucking glup shito like nobodies. Like we've got this Nominal Naomi, who I might be watching today, actually. I hate AI art. Maybe I should watch this at some point. King Charles. Love it.
And it just makes me wonder
I hope that was King Charles, otherwise I just made myself look stupid. Oh well.
sometimes if all the people who are doing that nostalgia pandering aren't mad that they can't have that anymore. They're mad that they never got that feeling. And now they feel like they're not getting the chance to get it again because the woke left is taken away.
See, that's what's annoying. I don't actually know exactly what they're talking about because they're talking about some weird like rightoid propaganda or something. I don't know. They're not showing what they mean. And to be fair, it's like a live thing. They're not going to, but
Pronouns or whatever.
yeah.
So they're more like upset at a world lost than upset that time has passed.
I just don't trust this guy's appraisal of like conservatives. I don't know who he talks to that's conservative or like hangs out with that's conservative, that he kind of knows what makes them tick and what they're about and stuff. I just don't, he's too biased. It's like asking Julia Hartley Brewer, who we watched earlier, what she thinks about Jeremy Corbyn. Like, do you think you're going to get the best appraisal of Jeremy Corbyn from someone like that, who's very opposed to him? It's the same kind of thing with vaush. Like, I don't know what I'd learn about conservatives, honestly, from listening to vaush. Like, it sounds more like the boogeyman version of conservatives that exists in, like, these fucking progressives' brains.
I guess. Or their perception.
Although he used to be a conservative. He was, like, an alt-righter, because you get these strange people that flip between like extreme ideologies, so hey.
Perception of a world lost.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense? I don't know if I'm just yapping, but there's like a weird
He's definitely yapping. Let's get that straight. Jesus.
psychological thing here.
No, like it is the rosy glasses thing. It's like they're upset at the idea of the past being in the past because like
Nostalgia is when you're sad that the past isn't here. Cool. I'm glad we needed however long it's been going on. This has been like the most nothing conversation. I don't know, fuck. Maybe I shouldn't sit and slag people off that do kind of the same thing that I'm like having pretensions of doing. But at the same time, it's, what are they even talking about? It's like progressive victory, and they just like sat there talking about nostalgia and like why it can be used by conservatives. Like, who cares, bro? Who asked?
Like, I think you said, like, you could just...
I wonder if they gave them like prompts, because they each got a certain amount of time to hang with Daddy Vaush here as the big streamer, because I guess Destiny was somewhere else and won't work with Vaush probably in the same room. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they're even fucking working with fucking Lollyboy here, but hey.
Pull up a split screen game again and play it with your buddies if you wanted to. But nobody does that. You know, it's not like you invite the boys over and have a split screen night. No, you're going to all have your like individual setups, even if you...
Well, it depends, man. It depends. Like, if you just have some people over and there's like a console that they normally use and there's a few extra controllers, like, yeah, maybe you would. I don't know. I've played like the odd Mario Party or Mario Kart or whatever on my Switch. I don't know. When people are over.
do that, usually...
But I guess these guys are like hardcore gamers. They're like, you know, they actually were really into it. They had like built their own PCs and stuff like that. That's what I'm guessing.
People just sit at home and play with each other online. And it's like, well, if you want that back so bad, you could go get it, like, but they don't. So like you're saying, I get what you're saying. It's like they're upset at the idea of it, not like the reality of what it was.
Like, how would he know any of that? Like, who's he even talking about?
So yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it's just weird to think about. It's just one of those social forces, like, you have in-group bias, but you fight against that, I guess, by letting people integrate a little bit, let them talk.
I don't want to hear about fucking Vaush talking about fucking in-group bias. His, like, fucking community is culty as fuck. I mean, you have to be culty as fuck to stick with a guy that fucking leaked his own lolly onto fucking the internet, you know? Yeah, Jesus Christ. I'm sure he was, like, sensible, like, a few years ago, but now I want to go back and check. Because that's another thing that makes me, like, watch this kind of stuff, is someone like Alec Gunter, whenever he does something really embarrassing, or someone like Vaush even, whenever they do stuff that's, like, really embarrassing, like, they get covered by all, like, the commentary channels, and, like, everyone rips the shit out of them, like, H3H3 went after Vaush, etc. But, like, what are they doing the rest of the time? What about when it's more, like, general topics about, like, trans shit? Like, what kind of ally are they? Because most of the commentary channels, they don't care about that kind of stuff as much, which is fair enough. Like, these are mostly not trans people, and they have other issues they care about more, and we're not exactly the most amenable group at the moment, you know? We're not exactly making friends with people. But, fuck, what was I saying? I don't know. I'll remember. I'm sure I'll remember at some point.
Talk with each other. Big cities are a really good way of getting people to...
So, like you're saying,
those social forces, like, you have in-group bias.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I meant. So, like... So, yeah, it's interesting to me what they're doing the rest of the time, like... Because that was one thing that I noticed, was everyone kind of swept for Vaush for, like, ages after I started thinking he's a bit fucking deranged. I don't really like him very much. Like, people would still, like, sweep for him and be like, oh my god, no, he's, like, really good and stuff. But it was kind of clear most of them didn't really watch most stuff. Like, people just watched, like, the viral stuff for the most part. And that's also fair enough, because if you're a streamer, you're not going to be watching that many other streams. So you don't really know what they're like day to day, which is very important, by the way, when these people talk about other streamers, or any streamers talk about each other. Most of the time, they've got a perception of them from whatever time they came across them, and they only really know of them when there's, like, drama between them two, or drama between them and someone else. So it's like, most of these people don't actually know each other very well, but we'll say all sorts about them, I guess. But yeah, it's interesting to me what these people are doing when they're not doing, like, the meme shit, you know? Please play.
But you fight against that, I guess, by letting people integrate a little bit, let them talk with each other. Big cities are a really good way of getting people to, you know, I don't know what on a systemic level you can do about something like nostalgia or like fake nostalgia pandering. I don't really have an idea. It was something.
Yeah, I was hoping for some systemic ideas about how to erase nostalgia from society, because that's going to happen.
Something that I've been thinking about lately.
Yeah, and like I said with the AI art, they're using it for every other thing, and nostalgia pandering is certainly one of them. And it sucks because those are good memories that I have of that. And it's like you see the...
What, so because the conservatives use something in like a propaganda piece, now you can't enjoy it anymore? That's pretty pathetic. That's basically letting the conservatives tell you what to do with your life, just in reverse. Just by being like, well, if they like it, I must have to not like it. These people are cringe, man.
Conservatives using it and it's mucking it up, and I'm just...
Yeah, exact. That's fucking... That's literally what you just fucking went on to say. That's like so cringe. Like, who fucking cares? There must be so many conservatives that like shit that I like. That doesn't ruin it for me. It's just how it is. Like, learn to understand that people are human beings beyond their fucking ideologies. Maybe that's a symptom of bouncing around these crazy ideologies. Like, you never get a realistic sense of what people are like. And I don't know what kind of work this guy's done. Because for me, like, having worked around people for a lot of my life, you just kind of get used to how normal everyone is. And that, there's going to be some people that walk past you that are going to vote Donald Trump. And some people that are going to vote Joe Biden. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that you have to fucking hate each other. It doesn't mean you can't like any of the same shit, But when you get to these kind of people's, like, vaush has been, I don't know when the last time he's been meaningfully around normal people is. Like, he sits and streams and stuff. Like, he's got his echo chamber. Like, that's a one-way ticket down, and he's on the same trajectory. Only he's probably not going to get as popular or as rich as vaush did. Because, I mean, vaush... He kind of originated what he does because he took Destiny and added fucking bath salts. But after that, it's just kind of clones. Hello, Skibidi Toilet Enjoyers. Hey, Kingbot, how are you? We're watching vaush and Alec Gunter for the next 2 and a bit minutes. They're having a fascinating conversation about AI art, and I can't even remember. That's how... Yeah, it's... This is one of those progressive victory things. So it's meant to be like a meeting of the minds, two of the top leftist streamers at the moment, really shooting the shit and like really, putting the world right on a stage, in front of however many people going canvassing for Jamal Bowman, who's going to lose his campaign because this is slightly old. So yeah, it's great.
Ooh, it really gets my goat.
I genuinely think that
Alec Gunter is upset because conservatives like things that he likes sometimes and will use it in AI art. And it's like, oh, they're using my memories of like split screen gaming to like pander to nostalgia for their side. Now I can't enjoy split screen gaming anymore. I have so many good memories and they're tarnished. It's pathetic.
that for a lot of them, it's not that they had it and they miss it. It's that there was a feeling that they thought they never got and now can't because something has changed,
Yeah.
Like people who have never had a stable job in their lives.
I think I don't know if he's like starting to over-intellectualize this too much, but it's vaush, so.
Saying that like the economy used to be so much better before immigration. Like, motherfucker, you never felt a good economy. What are you talking about? Like, what are you comparing that to? And I think they're imagining it.
Wait, do you imagine economy? Isn't that kind of measured? Don't we kind of know what the economy was like from one time to another? Like, if you're going to look at a bunch of charts and stuff where it looks like the 70s, we were doing much better than we are now, and you're like, oh, the economy was so much better back then. Like, they have reason to think that. It's not just, let me see how we put it, hang on.
Economy used to be so much better before immigration. Like, motherfucker, you never felt a good economy. What are you talking about? Like, what are you comparing?
Like, how would you know? Well, aren't economies measured? I think it's a weird point. I'm being pedantic, I understand, but.
That to, and I think they're imagining it,
They're imagining it. It's not. Maybe if you used a better example, I might be more amenable to that one, but I think he's just waffling.
Yeah, and their parents had it better. Like their parents had more opportunities than they did, and so they grew up.
That's true, yeah.
In a household that was relatively privileged. And so now they're adults and the economy is, frankly, just terrible.
Also, the they had it better thing. I think there's like younger people around that literally think that everyone older than them had a better life than them and like more privilege than them and stuff like that, when a lot of it probably isn't true. I think we like to, the more we kind of have a comfortable life free of a huge amount of troubles, the more we kind of exaggerate the troubles we have. But then at the same time, there's a lot of problems from like modern society we didn't really have before. Like, for example, most housing is private and rents are expensive, So it's not that I don't see that point, but you hear it generalized this way a lot, and it feels a bit kind of, I don't know. Some of these leftists want to be like kind of ageist and shit on old people, whereas the rightoids will kind of go after the young people. Whereas it's like a mixture of both. Like, I've had people suggest to me that like all the crazy trans activists that do insane shit on the internet and make us look ridiculous, like it's all like Discord kids, like 20-year-olds on like Discord and stuff. The amount of fucking Twitter profiles I come across from someone that's clearly in like their 40s, 50s, like beyond, that say the most absolutely insane fucking shit. Like, nah, these kids learned it from somewhere. You want to know the problem? Look at the fucking older leftists that are like transitioning in their 50s and now suddenly their personality is completely changed and they've got pink hair that starts about here or something,
And they don't have the same opportunities. And so I feel like, they associate those things with a better time because, like I said, their parents had more opportunities, so they grew up in like a better house than they can.
Hang on, I want to get that again because I think this is stupid, but I want to make sure I'm not getting it out of context or something.
Grew up in a household, that was, their parents had it better, like their parents had more opportunities than they did, and so they grew up in a household, that was relatively privileged, and so now they're adults and the economy is, frankly...
Is that a dog whistle for white people, do you think?
...just terrible, and they don't have the same opportunities, and so I feel like, they associate those things with a better time because...
I didn't know about this at all.
Like I said, their parents had more opportunities, so they grew up in like a better house than they can afford for themselves now. Does that make sense?
No, one.
I don't know how much that makes sense. Like, I think some people that are conservative, especially younger ones, like maybe they look at like the ideals of a past time and think that's probably better than what we have now. And it's not so much because of nostalgia or thinking, well, it must have been better because my parents were better off than me. They had all these opportunities and I don't have any opportunities. Like, I think there's probably a lot of reasons why people end up in those kind of spaces. And then, hey, you get a lot of people that become like bigoted or like more individualist because they have like trauma and stuff. I think Alec here probably just wants to, he's definitely speaking at a male like perspective about opportunities. Yeah, like he, fuck, I was going to say something and it kind of evaporated in my brain. Yeah, he seems to want to like simplify it so much. But to me, that speaks of someone who nuance is not his friend because that makes it harder to think about. So it's easier to chop things in half. And there you go. That seems to be what he does. I need to watch more, to be fair. I've only seen a handful of videos by him, but I don't know. I'm not getting huge intelligence vibes. Like vaush at least is intelligent. He's more just strange,
100%. It's just, I wish that it could be channeled towards more progressive politicking, as people often do with like...
I don't know if they don't channel nostalgia at all towards like progressive politics. I mean, people go on about history a lot, usually because they don't have any actual arguments, so they just throw up some historical facts like, oh my god, well, did you know that queer people existed in southern India in 1891 and stuff like that, and no one cares because... I don't know, people like soy out over like queer history so much. Like to me, it's like when I learn stuff like that, it's like, okay, that's cool. Like this person was trans and did this thing, but it's like, okay, now I'm gonna go and use the toilet. You know what I mean?
Like housing prices, but not so much with, I don't know, split screen. I'm getting the signal.
Yeah, I've been getting it for.
But we're going to talk more in the future on account of us being in the same room.
Well, that was so fucking fascinating. So I can't wait for them to talk more. It kind of feels like, what's interesting, like fucking Xander Howell, who's involved in Progressive Victory, he wasn't here. I don't think Demon Mama would be involved in it, and Tipster is like gone. But like, he seems to be a lot nicer to his new crop of kids than he is to his old crop of kids, because after a while, people like Xander Howell, like, he didn't collaborate with them. He didn't like use them for anything, because why would he? They're just another version of him. It's just a little brother, you know. But yeah, like he seems to be trying to socialize a bit more, which is good for him. I mean, he had the Fortress arc. I don't know why I know this shit, man. It's so fucking cringe. I watched this shit for years. And all I learned was that almost all of these streamers are deranged. But yeah, he stopped talking to people. He stopped doing debates. He seems like he's trying to do a few more. Was he on Piers Morgan or was that someone else? I can't remember. But anyway.
Yes, we will be in the same room very much so. So
please remind everyone.
We'll be in the same room very much so.
Whomst you are and where they can find you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm Alec Gunter.
Whomst you are. There you go.
You can find me at alecgunter.com or on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/alecgunterttv. We have a great time there. We got a great little tight-knit community. We got a Discord channel, so definitely hop in. And, you know, I just do kind of, people call me.
So, I don't know what they're supposed to be talking about. This is just like a Progressive Victory event. It was in New York. They were trying to get that Jamal Bowman guy elected somewhere, and then he lost in the end. And this was in support of that. There were people like going off canvassing, and I think the base room they used, or the base building, was like a church or something, and this was being streamed at one end of it. But yeah, I don't know what they're supposed to be talking about. It's just, I guess they were just supposed to sit and talk about progressive politics and, like, you know, one established streamer and an up and comer coming together to, like, you know, if they put their streamer power together, then they'll just solve all the problems too quickly and possibly kill everyone. So instead, they have to just talk about random bullshit that no one cares about.
With the organization itself.
Then let me familiarize you with it privately. Are you interested in that or not?
Are they an organization that deals with sexual violence? What is their expertise?
You're not interested. You're not interested.
Oh yeah, what he's asking about is extremely simple information that is apparently a huge secret, I guess. But it's not quite what I wanted to show.
Interested. So this is a very bad faith engagement because you're not
bad faith. You think I'm insincere in what I'm saying? You think I'm lying?
Very insincere.
When I say I think your video was bad, you think I'm lying.
No, I think that you have a fair opinion there, okay? It's not perfect.
What do you think bad faith means?
I think bad faith means that you're not willing to actually get down to the root.
There was a drama between Alec Gunter and someone called Card Posting. Alec Gunter got fucking bodied. I think Chad Logic covered it. A bunch of people probably covered it, but it was funny. This guy covered it as well, Harmful Opinions. I recommend his channel.
Root of the truth of Card's actions. That's what bad faith is. So are you willing to do that or not?
Not what bad faith means at all.
That's what I'm interested in discussing. Well, it is a bad faith thing to do that. That's what I'm saying. Okay?
Insincere
You're not interested
thing.
in an honest discussion about that, are you?
What makes something bad faith?
Are you okay? Are you interested in an honest discussion about Card and his actions? Yes or no?
I wanted to talk about your video. Isn't that what we were going to talk about?
The video is about Card and exposing him as a sex pest. So do you agree with that
and
part
it exists as a piece of media.
As far as I know, he's not a sex pest either, so... this Alec Gunter guy made an exposed video on someone called Card Posting, who's like a soy lord kind of guy, but at least has actually some intelligence to him. And yeah, it flopped massively. I do recommend looking up this particular drama if you ever get bored, because it's something.
Yeah.
Video, man.
Do I agree he's a sex
Why am I wasting
pest?
my time with you? What do you want to, like, what do you hope to gain out of this? Clout? Do you see it?
What are you trying to gain from this? Clout?
You invited me.
You just want to Yeah, I did, because clearly you
Up-and-comer?
called me out and you wanted my attention.
Who's the up-and-comer?
Me.
Holy fuck.
He hangs up at this point, by the way. Like, if you watch the Alec Gunter side of this conversation, like, he starts laughing and it's just boo and like this really sad face.
By up-and-comer, do you mean like when Destiny came all over your face on Jubilee?
There we go. He didn't answer because he'd left the call by then.
A vaush clone, so, you know.
No, you're taller and more muscular than I am.
Oh, he admitted it. He admitted it. These are all fucking clones. Who else is here? I don't know. Stardust wasn't here. Fuck. I need to find the picture. There was a whole bunch of these, like, D-list, like, glupshito streamers that no one cares about, but, you know, it's... If you're gonna work with, like, online streamers that talk about politics, you're already scraping the barrel. So, like, this is what kind of came up, because Twitch poll is, like, irrelevant, pretty much.
youtube.com/AlecGunterTTV. We have a great time there. We got a great little tight-knit community. We got a Discord channel, so definitely hop in. And, you know, I just do kind of, people call me a vaush clone, so, you know.
No, you're taller and more muscular than I am.
No.
If anything.
He's such a charmer, that vaush, you know? I can see how Tacoma wept, like, when he got rid of his Tinder, honestly.
I'm sort of the feeble, you know, offspring.
No, you're flattering me too much. I appreciate it. But, yeah, I
Oh, you're embarrassing him, Vaush. Come on. That's your son right there.
really appreciate you having a talk with me, really. It's exciting. I've been watching you for a while, and I'm a big fan of everything that you do, so.
Yeah, it's nice to finally get to meet you.
Yeah,
We still have plenty of events planned. So, in the meantime, I think I'm just going to keep sitting here.
Okay.
But I have no idea why.
All right, sounds good. All right.
There you go. There you go. Vaush. The big man himself, Vaush. And Alec Gunter, meeting of the minds to discuss... Fuck, what did they talk about? Like, AI? It's not that I wasn't listening, it's just they talked about so much nothing. Like, the weather and, like... Yeah, progressive victory. If they want to work with these people, that's on them, I guess. They have Destiny on board still, I think, and that's probably the only thing they have going for them.